We're back with some Gamebound Apocalypse World after on the break making a cookie dough meme, which will be on the internet shortly. It's masterful. It's wonderful. So we left off when all y'all had sworn revenge on the killer of Toyota, and now are heading out to enact said revenge.
I didn't swear revenge, I just nodded and said I was in.
Good enough. So, where do you go? You just go straight to Ba's apartment?
Heck
Where
yeah.
she lives? Okay.
I would like to take Farley with me also.
Okay, yeah. Your handsome, dark-haired assistant.
Yes.
Look, we can all fit in my car.
True. Yeah.
You'll be shocked by how spacious it is.
I think if, to backtrack just slightly, right, we see the whole montage of you guys, like, getting to the car and leaving and being all cool and stuff, right, like, and heading out to find Ba. But I think the last thing you guys see, or the last thing we see as the audience, is we see Bean just, like, waiting nearby the store and, like, watching you leave and then, like, taking a look at the door and then, like, kind of smiling wickedly. Foreshadowing. So, I think Ba, ironically, lives on a farm on the outskirts of town. I think she and her, like, elder...
Does she work for, like, some of my extended family? Ford Mustang and Ford Bronco?
No. I think she
must
has...
be a different farm.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah. She lives with her, like, elderly parents on this, like, farm kind of in the middle of nowhere. And it's like you pull into the farm and it's like the whole atmosphere is very creepy, right? Like, every part of this shot is framed in such a way that, like, we get weird angles at various, like, very normal farm things, but, like, the saturation on the shot is just slightly off, and, like, the sound effects are loud, and, like, there's no other sound. It's just, like, the sound of the windmill turning, like, in the breeze, and a rooster kind of half crowing in the background, and stuff like that. And, so there's a little place for, like, pigs and some, chickens and stuff like that.
Look at all those
chickens. But yeah, it looks sort of empty as you pull in your Mini Cooper. Have you named your Mini Cooper, by the way? No name? It's just your...
I would like...
does Ford Fiesta have a name for it? I guess is my real question.
I would like to name... To name him. It's a male car.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to think about this.
It's fine.
He's going to have a name. I just have to think.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you pull up in your Mini Cooper, and it's definitely like a kind of Twin Peaks sort of vibe going on. It's just very kind of eerie and creepy. Honestly, okay, here's the perfect analogy for this. Think Courage and the Cowardly Dog.
Oh, no.
Right? That's what the vibe is right now. It's a creepy farm in the middle of nowhere.
Kind of like Courage the Cowardly Dog sort of a thing.
Yeah, that's what I just said. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was reading in text.
Yeah. You're fine.
Good to know that we're on the same wavelength.
Yep. So you I guess get out of the car, and what do? It's just kind of like a creepy atmosphere. There's no one out on the outside, around. It's a ranch house, there.
I want to just, like, walk on up to the front door and knock on it.
Okay, yeah.
Also, my car's name is Pathfinder.
Of course.
Okay, perfect.
That's why you go to my establishment.
Well, it's also the name of a Nissan car. Both.
Yeah. So the creepiness of the cinematography continues to happen. We just get a close-up shot that follows your feet, and we just hear the footstep sounds on the gravel.
And I knock on the door with like the handle of my shotgun.
Right. Yeah, we just get a very close-up on the handle itself and just the wrap. And someone opens the door. It's a elderly man. You know him as a guy named Monk, and he has like a perpetual. He's just shivering. He's always cold. He looks kind of sad and always cold. And so he has like a really thick blanket, and it's the desert. It's like the middle of summer too, but he's always looks cold, and he doesn't sweat. You've never seen this guy sweat. Just really weird. But he always seems like he's cold, and he's like shivering in this blanket, and this like kind of frail old man with like spectacles, and he shivers and he says, "Yes, could I help you?"
Monk, where's Ba?
Ba? Oh, you talking about the sheep we have in the back?
No, Ba.
Oh, are you referring to my lovely daughter?
Sure.
She's not here. I'll glad you show you around though. You can.
And like Sapphire just like punches like a fist like next to like on like the door frame and just goes, "Where is she?"
Well, you don't have to get excited. You just come in and I'll put you a nice warm cup of tea. It's so cold out there today. And he just like starts to shuffle away towards the kitchen.
Sir, it is 85 degrees right now.
Exactly. No, it's like 95 at least.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, do you guys go in?
I want to do like a perimeter check to see if anything seems weird. If somebody's like trying to run out the back door or something.
Okay. How about you roll? I think there's maybe roll like sharp.
Sharp.
Like read a situation.
Okay.
Okay. Succeeds partially. So let me look at this. Basic moves. So you get to ask one of these questions, and I will post them in chat for you.
Okay. What is my enemy's true position like a moral question or a physical question?
It could be either one.
Then I guess it would be what's my enemy's true position? Like, are they here? Are they not?
Yeah. So I think do Sapphire and Needle go inside?
I think I just kind of like look at like at a Ford Fiesta, and I'm just like, I don't know.
So you just like start walking, or she starts walking around the other side of like the ranch house and like looking at stuff.
Just like, I don't have time for this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't think she'd go in.
If no one else does.
Yeah.
You go in, Needle?
I wouldn't go in if no one else does.
Yeah, if no one else
Yeah,
does.
I don't think I would.
Yeah, so the door just like swings closed, and you just hear him shuffling around in there, and he's like almost talking to himself at this point. You think he thinks he's talking to you, and so he's basically just saying, "Would you like raspberry or blueberry, or just some straight black tea, or maybe some green tea?" And he's just like listing off like various teas. You're just kind of like, I guess like looking around the edge, like looking at where Ford is.
Yeah, I'm just like
checking stuff out.
I'm like, Ford, let's go. Like, we don't have time for this.
Yeah. So for Fiesta, you are kind of looking around at the house, and you see, several sets of footprints and stuff. And you don't really know how to read footprints exactly. But then you come back to like the shed, like the garage kind of thing in the back, and you see marks that you're very familiar with. Tire tracks. You can't really read boot prints, but you can sure read tire prints. And you see that a car has left here very recently and very quickly from this garage, this like shed garage that's kind of in the back of the farmhouse. And you recognize it as a... let's see, I guess probably just like a van, like a type of van that you're passably familiar with.
2004 Honda Odyssey. Got it.
Yeah, there you go. 2004 Honda Odyssey. Yep, exactly. And you know what direction that it went in.
East.
You can yes. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's your like answer to the question is like you think she took the van and took off. But you could track her.
Yeah, so I quickly go back and I say, she's not here. We need to go. I've got her scent.
Yeah, and like you're on like the big porch, right? That's on the ranch house, and like you come into frame and are talking to them, and you haven't noticed, and neither have Sapphire and Needle, the fact that an elderly woman is just like smiling in the window, like right directly behind you, Fiesta, on the house, and she's just
The family's insane.
Yeah, and Sapphire, you probably like notice it before Fiesta does, because she's like kind of like faced away from the woman, but you're probably just like, oh, okay, sure, like affirming like what she said, and then you look and you see this like woman like staring at you and smiling. What do? You just leave, or?
Ugh, Ba never had a chance, did she?
Right.
So you're saying Ba left recently, very quickly.
Yes, we need to go to catch
let's
her.
go.
Yeah, so you guys rush over, and Farley's been, keeping the car warm, sort of a thing. Like he's staying with the car, basically. Keeping the car warm in the sense of like staying there, in case you need a quick getaway.
It's 95 degrees. It don't need to stay warm.
I know it was a metaphor. But you see the shot just stays on the woman in the window, and we just hear the footsteps that are like fading, and we stay on that woman in the window a very, very uncomfortable amount of time as we just hear, and the footsteps have like receded in the distance so much at this point that there's almost no sound in a soundtrack whatsoever, and it's just this woman, and then we just hear, oh, actually, we're out of tea. How sad. And then we cut. And we see you guys ripping across the desert again. And yeah, you can track her. Basically, there's only a couple of roads that you could really take with a van like that. It's not really made for off-roading, so like you could basically, there's a couple of like roads, like actual like kind of gravelly roads that you could take, and you find one, you're like, okay, this is probably the one she took. And you manage to like half track, half just kind of guess at where she would go. And you end up in I guess it's like a canyon, kind of. The land on either side of you has started to rise up as you go down this road. And then you just see a white, nondescript van just kind of like ditched on the side of the road. The back doors are like open, like for the trunk. And just swung open like someone grabbed stuff out of the back. And the driver's side door is open as well, just kind of like open in the atmosphere, and the car is still running.
She's gonna go try to kill
Chug
herself,
along.
isn't she? Oh, lame. Now we're gonna feel sorry for her.
Right.
So can I tell at all like what direction she might have gone?
No, you're not good at tracking people, so.
Okay. In that case, clearly the smart thing to do here would be split up.
Is that what you say out loud?
Yeah. We have to cover a lot of ground to try and find her.
I mean, it's kind of true.
I mean, and then Sapphire just goes, Did you never watch a horror movie ever before?
What is a movie?
You come on, I play them every Friday night downstairs. Come on.
Fridays I'm never at your place. I'm not sure what this movie you speak of. So no, I've never seen them. But look, you guys can go on foot. I'll take my car. Me and Pathfinder will find her, hopefully.
Why don't we all just search for her in the car?
Because we're not going to cover as much ground. I can only drive in one direction. Then you guys can go the other way. That is a phrase that I just used, describing a single direction that I can drive, seeing as I am but one person with one vehicle.
All right, fine. Farley, you're with me.
All right, boss.
Let's go.
Guess I'll go this way.
As Ford just drives off and Sapphire goes with Farley, I guess I'll just go this way. Yeah, that's funny. So I think what I want to happen is, Ford, you're not going to get anywhere because you've already gotten as much as you can get with your tracking abilities. But Sapphire and or Needle, you could roll things to try to find some information here. It'd probably be sharp. You could always open your brain to this world psychic maelstrom if you wanted to.
I will just roll sharp because I have a +1 to that. So
sounds good.
I clearly went the wrong direction.
Ooh, I know her so well.
Yeah, I did bad.
Okay, sounds good. So you can ask 3 of those questions that are above.
Okay.
And they could be, slightly changed to fit the situation more.
What should I be on the lookout for? Who's in control here? And what's my enemy's true position?
Okay. So you find tracks. And I think it's less like Sapphire, not really a wilderness explorer type, but like
I've played D&D before. I know.
Right. Sure. But I think what it's more like is you see like a discarded piece of something, like equipment, kind of sticking up out of the sand, and you realize that like there have been like kind of like breadcrumbs, these like random pieces of like tech have been scattered, and there's like a trail, like a little path that kind of winds up to the top of the canyon. And yeah, so you see like, some sort of like remote, and then some other like exposed wire coming out of a plate, and like as you just start to like follow this trail of like discarded or maybe just dropped pieces of equipment, you get a sense of the direction that she's going, or at least you're guessing that it's her. Let's see, that's like what's my enemy's true position. You found it basically. You said what should I be on the lookout for, and then who's in control here?
Yeah.
Let's see. What should I be on the lookout for? You should be on the lookout for whatever Ba is going to be doing with this equipment. Because I think as you get closer and you realize more and more what she's discarded, you get a bigger sense of like what's actually happening here. And I think it really just comes from like nerd culture, right? Like that's what actually tips you off to this, right? It's like, I'm trying to think of a reference or a direction that would make sense here. But whatever it is, the pieces of gear that you like find scattered around tell a story about what she's making, and what you're assuming that she's making based on the gear is some sort of like. Again, I'm trying to find something that would be like easily referenced by some sort of nerd culture thing, but not too complicated. Let's say. Let's just say magnet. You know, easy, simple. Some sort of magnetism device. And it's literally, it must be just some sort of obscure reference from some book that you read or whatever that like doesn't even maybe exist, but exists in this world. That you read sometime about someone who made some sort of magnetism device. And you just happen to recognize some of the things, and you just get this hunch. And Sapphire, you know your hunches are usually really good. And so even though it's just like, okay, this is like a wild guess, you feel that it's correct.
Okay.
Who's in control here? Probably. I mean, not you.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I don't really think there's more of an answer than that, right? You just get a profound feeling of you not being in control. You start to get basically the you know, the hair stands up at the back of your neck, and you're like, I feel like I'm getting into something that's beyond my depth. This is more than just like Bob murdered someone. Like, there's something else happening here.
Okay. Magnetism, something bigger than Toyota's death.
Yeah.
And Bob's crazy.
Yep.
So, all right.
But yeah, I mean, you follow the trail up, and then we cut to Needle, and Needle just gets hopelessly lost.
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he's going, and I think you, Needle, you end up coming next to a cave. There's like a little like cave entrance that goes into the canyon wall, and you think you see like a discarded like backpack, like at the cave entrance. What do you do?
I mean, walk towards it and pick it up.
Yeah, and do you like look at the backpack or just keep going?
Just look at the backpack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something is eerily familiar about this backpack, but you can't really place it. Yeah, it's just on like the tip of your tongue, and then nothing. But it seems familiar, and then you just get this like sense that someone left it here and went inside the cave.
I guess he would put it on and start walking into the cave. Probably with a flashlight. So I think I have a flashlight in my... Do I have a flashlight in my pack? I feel like I saw that somewhere for some reason.
You might.
No,
I mean, it's pretty easily to just kind of guess. You have like oddments worth. You have like barter items, so you could have a flashlight.
Yeah. So I use a flashlight and I start slowly heading in.
Yeah, and for all the world, you look like a hiker in the Arizona desert, like, you know, just spelunking for a moment. But you start walking in, and you know, we get the classic horror suspense sort of thing. You know, the string music, the string drone is slowly increasing in the background as you kind of like walk through and see just kind of nothing, and then there's a jump scare and it's a bat, you know, and it flies away. And then just as you get to a point where like you're expecting something to jump out at you again, or like you find something, it just dead ends. And it's just like a cave that kind of goes in for like, I don't know, 20 feet, 30 feet, with a couple of twists and turns, and then just ends abruptly. What do you do?
And just turn around and go back.
Yeah, as soon as you turn around, you see that Toyota is standing in front of you.
Oh. Well, dang, okay.
And he says, Needle, you have my backpack. And you're like, oh, that's where I saw that backpack. It's Toyota's backpack.
He just kind of stunned, like takes it off and tosses it to Toyota.
He's like, here you go, dead guy. You can have it. Yeah, and he's like, are you all right, Needle? And kind of like leans down to grab it, slung over his shoulder.
You're supposed to be dead. We're kind of trying to catch ball right now.
Dead? Who told you that?
Games. Told Sapphire that this morning.
Games? Why would he tell? No, I'm not. I mean, I'm right here. I'm not dead.
Well, obviously. I see that now.
Is it just you out here looking for me? What? Looking for who? What?
We split
I'm
up.
dead. What are you doing out here?
Looking for Ba, because she took off.
Why would you be looking after?
We assumed
Do you think that she killed me?
Well, yes, that was the first assumption.
You know, I'm sort of insulted, Needle. You really think a twig like her could take someone like me?
Well, no, but that's what everyone else thinks, I guess.
Well, let's go back and find them, and we can just sort all this out. I'm sure it was just a big old misunderstanding. I went out for a drive. I wanted to see the canyon again. Breathe the morning air. You know.
Yeah, he nods.
And Needle, do you want to read a person here? I feel like, I mean, you're good at sharp.
Yeah.
You're kind of sizing up this whole situation and this person. I'm just curious what you could pick up. All right, so 60s partially. So you can ask one of these questions about Toyota.
What does he intend to do?
What does your character intend to do? Let's see. I think he seems genuine.
Okay.
He seems like he's just genuinely like, oh, that's a big misunderstanding. Let's go sort it out.
Okay.
Yeah, you're a good judge of people. Yeah, so you start walking back. I think what happens is you guys get to the mouth of the cave, and then Ford Fiesta you're driving by, in Pathfinder, and then you see Needle step out of a cave.
In celebration, I do a quick donut before stopping.
You just see Needle come out of a cave.
Yes. I do a quick donut in the fact that we are reunited.
Yes. Okay. Obviously. Perfect.
So I guess I get out and I kind of just go, I found absolutely nothing.
I found something. Well, I guess he found me, technically.
What are you talking about?
And then I just wait, I guess. I turn around and look to the cave.
There's nothing. Like it's as if Toyota never existed.
He goes back in the cave and looks around and he's like, where did he go?
Yeah, you don't see anything. It's just rock. You don't even see a backpack.
Needles, are you feeling all right? You know you still have to take care of yourself even when you're out taking care of other people. Do you need some water?
I swear he was here. Toyota was here.
Toyota? He's dead. We're out here trying to avenge him.
Right. Maybe I'm seeing things. Heat stroke or something's getting to me.
Why don't you come on into Pathfinder and get some shade? Cool off.
That's a good idea.
I'll drive really fast so we get a nice breeze coming through the windows.
Yeah, and so you just rip off. And Needle, do you at all look back towards the cave?
Yes.
you swear you see Toyota at the front of the cave entrance. Just for a moment. And then, like, you know, a rock pillar goes in the way, and then you can't see the cave entrance anymore.
Okay.
He's in that moment of, like, him, he's looking at you almost, like, disappointed. And that singular, like, look is burned into your brain. Yeah, you guys rip away, and Sapphire and Farley, you guys get up to basically like the top of the canyon, and you can see for miles at this point, right? Like either direction, it's basically flat at where you're even with the canyon wall. But you don't really see any other sign of people. It looks like the trail kind of ends at the top of this like kind of trail that led up to the top. But you don't see anyone. There's a couple of rock formations nearby that someone, I guess, could technically be hiding behind, but, like, you don't see anyone in the immediate. You see one, I think, like, just small metal sphere, just, like, on the ground in front of you. I guess, like, the last breadcrumb.
Way too. I didn't build my character to be away from her place.
I know, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I guess I kind of just like look around like the sphere, and then like I don't touch it or anything like that. I'm just like, it's like just like further confirms like my suspicion. I'm just like, Farley, what on earth could she be making that has to do with magnetism of all things?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's just shaking his head, and he's like, I don't know. You're the one who says it's about magnetism. All this is just random junk to me.
It's definitely magnetism. I feel it.
Okay. Hey, Sapphire, since I have you out here, a question I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, God. Seriously?
Yeah. He says, you know, you're an attractive woman, an attractive guy. You ever think about, getting together sometime? Having some fun? Doesn't have to be anything serious.
Hey, Caleb.
Yeah, you know I have to do this to you every time.
Every time. I was trying not to. Okay. Anyways.
Caleb goes back to the bathroom and adds another tally to the list.
To the list of like.
Give a love
many.
interest. Yeah.
Always have to have a love interest, I guess. Okay. Well, I guess let me roll everybody eats, even that guy, to see like
sure.
if I.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, you got a 6. Okay. So let's see.
So I get to ask one question, but they hear about your interest in them. So basically, I'm going to ask something, and then he's going to think that I'm really interested.
Yeah.
Basically, like
Perfect.
I'm going to ask like a basic question, like,
This is why he's asking us in the first place, is because you did some like checking up on him, and he was like, "Oh."
Right. It's kind of like, yeah. I'm just gonna say like, who do you love the best? Right. I asked that like one time, and then like he blushed or something like that, and I was like, crap, it's me.
Yeah. So you've been seeing this coming for a while, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, really not now. Really, Farley?
Hey, I'm a guy. I have needs.
I'm a woman. I have needs, but I know when to ask the questions better than this.
Oh, so you're saying if he waits for a couple hours, then I might get a different answer.
Okay. Farley, listen, we're after a murderer right now. This is just not an appropriate time, okay?
All right. That's fine. It's fine, Sapphire. I definitely put your name as Sapphire. It was Saffron originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, I definitely changed it.
And then we changed it. Okay, yeah. I just had that realization where I was like, I feel like I had been doing it wrong the entire time.
No,
okay,
I definitely
I'm glad you
changed
changed it. Perfect.
I said Saffron, and then literally like 5 seconds later, I was like, no, I like Sapphire better.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, so I think basically what happens is, he just like, okay, all right, that's fine, Sapphire.
Ask me later, okay? Let's just.
Okay, I'll ask you later. Maybe tonight.
I don't think I'm gonna be in the mood, but okay.
You never know. And then he takes a step over to like the ledge basically, right, and like looks off, and he's like, "What do you think? Think she jumped off, or?"
No, she wouldn't just jump off. Why did she leave? She purposefully left this trail of breadcrumbs. She wants to be found.
Sapphire, I see something. You're gonna want to take a look at this.
Okay, and so like I look over the edge.
And he tries to push you off.
Oh, what a jerk!
What the heck?
Wow.
Yep.
Trade.
Mm-hmm. So
I thought he loved me.
I think, and that's the GM move I made because you failed the roll there basically. And so basically you're gonna have to do something under fire. You're gonna have to roll plus cool to try to like not fall to your death.
Oh, no.
It's not like you fall to your actual death necessarily, but you know.
Okay, so just roll cool.
Yep.
Okay. Jeez. Okay.
All right. On a 7 and 9, you flinch, hesitate, or stall. The MC can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or ugly choice. Let's see here. I think basically what I'm gonna have happen is you fall, but you manage to like catch yourself right at the ledge, and you manage to like in the moment of like, you know, struggling with him, manage to like make him fall backwards. So it's not like he's still standing right over you in that moment and can just like kick your feet and make you fall. But yeah, there's a moment where you're just like precariously like hanging over this ledge, and there's rocks at the bottom and everything. But he's like falling backwards and like maybe hit his head or something, and you just hear him groan. What do you do?
I mean, obviously, I want to try to get myself back up.
Yeah. So you're like, try to crawl back up, and then he grabs his head and he looks up and he's like, nope, not happening. And then he like grabs your arms, and there's like, you know, just the struggle and the tension is there. Do you like say anything? Do you try to do anything more drastic than this?
Man, I really wish I would have taken that one where like you stare at them and make them flinch.
Right, that would have been great.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think you hear him saying basically like, she promised me that if I just did this, it would all be over. So Sapphire, just die, please.
What would be over? I mean, I feel like the thing she would... No, because she's like hanging by a ledge. Like, the thing I'm picturing, but I just don't know if this is a good idea, is like, she like, while he's like got her arm and whatnot, like she does like a quick, like swift moment where she just like takes out her, like moves off one of her, like where he like thinks that he's like pushed, like he's like maybe pushed off one of her arms. She like reaches down and like grabs her dagger to like stab at his arm. So
Okay.
that get him away.
Yeah. So you just basically seize him by force. You're just gonna like straight up fight
Yeah.
now. Okay, yeah. So roll plus hard.
Okay. I got a +1 to that. I might be able to do this. Okay. 8 again.
Alrighty. Let's double check seize by force here. On a 7 and 9, choose 2 of these options.
Okay.
And whatever there's a question mark thing there, that's an FI. It does that weirdly sometimes with an FI in the text.
What does harm do to them?
Harm is like health. It's like damage.
Okay.
So basically, if you're inflicting terrible harm, you're doing more harm than you would normally do. Your knife is a whatever it says on your.
Oh, I see.
It doesn't say. Sorry, I don't think I wrote it down.
Yeah,
I know it's on here somewhere. Let me see here. The Maester D. You get. It's 2 harm hand. So you would do 3 instead of 2.
Okay. And how much do you have to do to like kill somebody?
I mean NPCs are basically like 1, 2, 3 harm maybe max.
So I just could like straight up kill him right now.
Yeah, I think basically it's the difference between like injuring him and killing him would be inflicting terrible harm. Because he's just some random schmuck, you know.
Yeah, he was trying to get in my pants and now he's trying to kill me. What a schmuck.
Nope.
I made him too. How rude. Okay. I would like to suffer harm and take undeniable control of the situation.
So you suffer little harm means you take less harm.
Oh, I see.
So just as.
Oh,
yeah, but,
I see. So I always
you inflict terrible harm.
Okay, so I always. Yes, I
so
would like
so
to
the way
inflict...
sorry I didn't read the beginning of the move. Let me read that real quick just so you know what you're getting into. So seizing by force basically means to seize something by force, exchange harm, but first roll plus hard. So basically, no matter what, harm is exchanged based on your weapons that you're using. But with these things, you can do +1, -1 to you. You know, those sorts of things can modify what's happening.
Okay, so
he's basically just using. I guess he would have a weapon because he's one of your staff, but he probably just has a dagger too, so it's going to be same, I think, 2 harm.
Okay. So I would like to enact terrible harm to him, so like do more harm, and then I would like to take undeniable control
of the situation. So basically, this ends with you being stabbed, but then you just stab him in the throat or wherever, right? And then just like chuck him off or whatever, if that's what you want to happen. But if you want to like keep him alive to interrogate him, that's technically.
I kind of want to be like, what do you mean?
Yeah. So basically, what happens, I think, is, you manage to like slash at him a bit, drag yourself up the rest of the way. There's a scuffle where you're actually like on your feet, right? And then he like slashes you across the stomach, but then you get in a good strike and like stab him in the chest and he goes down, and now you're like on top of him and he's like, gurgling blood, but you can like ask him questions if you want to. But you're going to take 2 harm. So on the top right of your character sheet,
harm.
Put it to 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Click that 6 o'clock, and then you're going to click the suffer harm dice thing.
Okay.
Right there. And you're going to put in how much harm you took.
Which is 2.
And then, yep.
Okay.
So you got a 7, which means the harm move. Do you have armor?
Yes.
You have 1 armor. Okay, so you'll actually only take 1 harm, so you can set it to 3 o'clock, and you got a 6 instead of a 7. So on a miss, the MC can nevertheless choose something from the 7 on the list above if she does, though, instead of armor. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I think the only thing that happens is you take the harm. Otherwise, there's options that where you could like be knocked unconscious or lose your footing or something like that. But getting less on this is better for the harm move because you're obviously adding harm to it.
Right.
So you just take the 3 harm, which means you're wounded, but you're not actually going to bleed out or anything like that. It's not going to really progress and get worse.
Okay.
So yeah, you have him pinned, and you've stabbed him, and he's gurgling blood, and you can ask him questions as he dies.
So what did he say when he was just like, boss said if I do this, that this would all be over?
If I do this, that it would all be over, yeah.
What would be over? What? Just like pinning him down.
She has to take her rightful place. She has to take it all back. Kill him. Kill everyone.
I mean, like, kill who? Toyota? Like, who else is she trying to kill?
he says something that's like almost half a gurgle that you kind of catch, and you have to think about it for a moment, but then you think he said games.
Okay.
But it's still unclear because he like gurgled out his last breath by saying it. So,
man, he could have had me that night if he wanted to.
So in canon, that was just a ploy. He was just trying to get you distracted, so that
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know, but still, I'm just saying. All right. Well, obviously, I tossed the body over the side of the cannon.
Right. Okay.
I ain't about, that won't cool.
Yeah.
Well, I think I need to find the others, and we need to either stop Ba or warn Gaines so he can use his resources to stop Ba.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think we can probably even just cut it there at that scene, because like Ford finds you again, and then you drive back to the town, sort of thing. Because I think you look around, there's nothing else. Ba's not there. You don't see anything else, so you just kind of leave. Needle, are you going to say anything more about your weird vision you had?
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah. You're just like, I don't know what I saw. Yeah.
Well, I tell him what a jerk Farley is. I'm just like, well, I guess I'll have to do a better screening for my employees. Oh, also, Needle, you want to, stitch this pathway up?
Oh, yeah.
Help me out somehow.
Yeah, that's a move you can do. So healing. The angel. You roll plus stock. To use to speed the recovery of someone at 3 o'clock or 6. You don't roll. They choose. You spend 1 stock, and they spend 4 days or 1 week. It's 4 days if it's 3 o'clock. Blissed out on chill stabs, immobile but happy, or else they do their time in agony like everyone else. Basically, at this point,
it's just not even worth it.
It's gonna heal.
All right,
and
it'll be fine. All right,
yeah, it'll be fine.
I've got a couple scratches. I'm a little I'm just okay, I'm a little bruised up and whatnot.
And Needle probably does stitch you up, but it doesn't have much mechanical effect because
right. I'm still hurting.
Yep.
Probably just physically, not emotionally, because
puts bandages on open cuts and stuff. But
yeah. Yep.
Well, I just go, well, we got to warn Gaines.
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you drive back into town, and I think, where do you go first? To Games' estate?
I don't think I'm allowed to go there. But
okay.
I do have a direct line to him, apparently, because I have to tell him the password every single time. So
I can go there possibly to go and use my reputation.
Okay, we can try that.
We can just try and drive up to the front if there's a guard or something.
Sure, it's urgent, so might as well.
Okay.
Yeah, roll plus cool. When you meet someone important, roll plus cool.
Okay, so I just do that, I guess.
Yep, you got a 7. Let's see. On a hit, they've heard of you, and you say what they've heard. The MC has them respond accordingly. On a 10+, you take +1 forward for dealing with them as well. So basically, they've heard of you. You say what they've heard. What is your reputation with Games?
He knows that I'm not just gonna come for whatever. I don't like dealing with him unless it's important.
Yeah. So
I avoid him unless something is dire.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you pull up to this estate, and it's fashioned like a good old southern plantation sort of a thing, right? Lots of fancy, fences. There's a courtyard. There's gardens. There's whatever else, big old ranch style house with a giant wraparound porch, and and I think basically what happens is for Fiesta, you go to the gate, and one of the many buff guys who's his security stops you, and walks up and says, "Ford Fiesta, didn't think I'd see you around here again." What is it?
We
You have business with the boss?
Well, we do now. It's not anything pre-planned.
Okay, and what is this business exactly?
I mean, it's not really necessarily my news to share, but as a vehicle, the three of us in the vehicle agree that his life is in danger.
Okay. It sounds like you're trying to manipulate someone, so
Oh,
go ahead and
no.
roll hot.
I mean, I'm just, just saying stuff.
I know, but that's triggers
Is
a move,
anyone
yeah.
gonna help me?
That would happen after the roll, so you can
Okay.
roll, and if you fail, yeah, we can do help.
Okay. Well, I still succeed.
Nice.
Wow.
I mean, it seemed pretty convincing to me. Yeah, for manipulate an attempt plus, they'll go along with you unless or until some factor action betrays the reason you gave them. So yeah, I think he says, all right, I mean, if you say it's urgent, I guess it's urgent. And there's like a bajillion security guards around, so if you try something funny, we could shoot you dead anyway. So come on in. And he opens the gate and waves you through. You can drive in basically with your car. Yeah, so you find Games sitting on his porch. His suit jacket is off, but he still has the dress shirt, tie-dye suit pants, and he has this like black suspenders. And he's drinking some like sweetened tea on his front porch. And yeah, I guess you just walking up to the porch basically, right?
I imagine as I get out, since I'm not like taking the lead on this at all, I kind of like get out and then stand against something that's not like on the porch, just kind of away a little bit, and like lean against it with one foot propped up. And I'm like chewing bubblegum, blowing bubbles, and just like spinning my keys around my finger.
Right, yeah, obviously. Okay, so but Sapphire and Needle, you go up there, or Needle, do you stay behind? Just Sapphire?
Needle probably stays behind, yeah.
Yeah, you just stay by the car too. All right, Sapphire, it's all you.
All right, so I guess she just like it goes up, and I mean she's obviously like wounded and whatnot, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if he notices or not, but
yeah, he's just frowning as he's sipping his iced tea.
She just goes, well, didn't find Bob, but found her accomplice. And, well, he said that she's trying to kill you and take over the city?
Now, why in the bloom blazes would she be wanting to kill me? That makes no sense.
I don't know, but she's also trying to build some type of magnetic contraption.
What do you mean, some sort of magnetic contraption?
It's something that, like, we read this mutual book together, and there was this contraption that, like, was magnetic. What did it do, by the way?
She's trying to make some sort of nerd crap?
Your life isn't... Look, okay, Farley tried to kill me, and he said that she's coming after you.
Farley tried to kill you?
Yes.
One of your own employees?
Yes.
You need to run your establishment better.
I'm aware that the screening process needs to be a little bit better, okay? Farley was always a fine employee. It doesn't matter. The point is
emphasis on the fine.
The point is that Ba is trying to kill you, and well, you need to use your resources to find her, because I tracked her down as far as I could, and
now let's back up just a moment here, Sapphire. Do you know without a fact that Ba is behind Farley's little attempt on your life?
Well, he said he didn't say her name, did he?
Mm-mm. Yeah, you just assumed.
Well, and she kind of like frowns, and she goes, well, he said that she said that this would all be over if he just killed me and then killed you.
Okay, so we're dealing with the she, but not necessarily the crazy lady who lives on
Well,
the farm.
okay, but we found her van though, and then we found a trail that like.
Did you find her, Sapphire?
No. That's why we need you.
Do you really think that? But why do you need me?
To find her, to get answers for Toyota.
That is what I told you to do.
Well,
Are you
I did
telling
my
me
best.
You can't? It's been exactly 6 hours, Sapphire.
Yeah, and I almost
I
died.
am incredibly disappointed in you. Give me one good reason why I should. What's the term?
Use my resources to do this.
No, like basically he's saying like.
Help your incompetency.
Yeah, something like he uses whatever turn of phrase he would use in that particular. Give me one reason why I should lift you up off your bootstraps. By your bootstraps.
Well, I guess I'll just try to seduce him right now.
Perfect. Okay. Yep.
Excellent.
Be like, you've really forgotten about that one favor I did you the last time. Was I really that unforgettable?
The missus is in the other room, Sapphire, so I appreciate your discretion on this matter.
I have always been. You know me. Come on.
I do know you. All right, make the roll. Yeah.
All right. 7.
All right. On a 7 and 9, they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first.
How about the fact that I'm injured? That's not evidence. And that Farley tried to kill me.
No. I think we all know what needs to happen here.
No, I don't. What?
I mean, you need to prove it to him what you'll do.
Oh. I thought you meant proof as in proof of
No, because it's tell them tell them what you want them to do, give them a reason to do it, which would be I'm going to do this favor for you, and then they'll go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence of the reason you gave first.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going to. He said his wife is in the house. I'm not going to do it right then and there.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, you could just very quietly just lean down and give him a very long, passionate kiss, right?
Right. I'll just probably lean down and just seductively I probably won't kiss him because people are watching and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not that much of a whore. Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
But just reach down, barely get to his lips and maybe just stroke his face a little bit.
Yeah.
And once you figure it out and you're safe, you could come by and I'll start another password that only you and I will know.
Oh.
Yeah, so he swallows, still looking you in the eyes, and he says, I suppose that will do.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be waiting to hear from you and what you find at my place.
So basically you just want him to raid Boz house and
I just want him to find her and get answers.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So he's I'll send my best men on it right away. And just kind of gives you all a look up and down appreciatively and kind of nods to himself and he's just like he got the better end of that business deal sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Kind of nods to himself. You're yeah, you did.
Yep. Well, that's what I had to do to get the store probably, so it's fine.
Yeah,
wouldn't be the first time.
True. Probably true. Yeah. So basically, do you go back to your establishment then, just to wait on that then?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know what else we do. I don't want to wait around here with the wife in the house.
Yeah.
I mean,
and just I don't want to linger around.
No, I would like to, awkwardly do like a well, at least I'm gonna make like my mother and Ford escape this awkward situation.
Sapphire just like rolls her eyes and is just like, you just do what you gotta do sometimes.
Beetle's just staring out the window.
In a completely different way than he usually does. Cool. Yeah, so you go back to the establishment then?
Yeah, it's probably all burned down. Just tell us what happened.
You literally read my mind. So now I'm going to have to change it. Yeah, because I want there to be obviously being caused some problem while you're gone. I'm just trying to think of something that's like in progress, but isn't like there's a fire. Yeah. Okay, so you get to the establishment. You notice that the door has been kicked in.
It's a very heavy door.
Yes.
Sapphire's just like, can't get a break today, can I?
Nope.
Needle goes in first, holding a stun gun out in front of him.
Oh man, I wanted to also storm in.
With your car.
No, not with my car. All the fun happens in the basement. Yeah. How am I supposed to get my car into the basement? That's not going to be possible.
I mean, it is a Mini Cooper. Let's be real.
So wait, is the door kicked in at the coffee shop section, or is the back door?
The coffee shop section.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So Sapphire's just like.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of
But yeah, Needle, you said that you went in first because you wanted to be like the man, basically. Like, I'll protect you, ladies. Like.
Ford Fiesta is just kind of like, am I finally gonna get to shoot some people?
Yeah, so I mean, Needle, you walk in first, and you see like the whole coffee house portion of it has just been totally trashed. You see a couple of dead waiters and waitresses.
My people!
Mm-hmm.
You killed off all my people?
He probably goes to them individually and checks their pulse to make sure they're dead and that
one of them is alive.
Oh, okay. Well then
yeah.
I assess their wounds and see if I can do anything.
Yeah, sure. Let's see here. Let's look at the angel stuff again. So, you're using it to revive someone whose life has become untenable. You spend 2 stock. They come back, but you get to choose how they come back. That's one option you can do. You could also... Actually, yeah, I think we'd probably use this one instead. We'd use when you use it to stabilize and heal someone at 9 o'clock or past, roll plus stock spent. And then on a hit, they stabilize and heal to 6 o'clock, and you choose 2 or 1 on a 7 to 9. There's like several options here. So let's have you roll plus whatever stock you want to spend. You have 6 stock to spend.
Okay. Well, I just need to spend 1 to use my kit, right?
You don't need to spend any to use your kit, technically. Oh. It's just you get bonuses however many stock you spend. So right now you're rolling a +0 if you don't.
Oh, okay.
Because you're not. Yeah, you're rolling just an angel roll.
I'll just spend 1.
Okay, so just roll a 2d6. Do like a slash roll space 2d6 plus 1. Nine. Okay. So you get to. So they stabilize. You get to ask them 1 question, or choose 2 of these options rather. On this list. You know what I just realized? I realized that we didn't do experience highlight stuff. That's okay.
Oh,
it's all
yeah.
good. It's a 1 shot. Either it's a TH or an FI that's weirdly symbolized.
They fight you when you have to narco stab them. What? I mean, I'm just gonna say they respond very well to treatment.
Yeah.
Recover one of the stock you spent.
Yeah, so you didn't spend any stock basically. Okay, yeah. So you stabilize the employee. While he's doing that, I assume Ford, you just go down the stairs.
Yeah.
Ford Fiesta, yeah.
I go with my shotgun ready, locked and loaded. Let's go.
Yeah. So you get to the bottom of the stairs, and the door to the secret room is also bashed in.
Of course.
And there's basically a guy underneath it that's been like crushed by the door. And yeah. But Ford Fiesta, you see basically the scene of a carnage. It seems like a lot of the regulars, a lot of the employees have been like either killed or are injured and unconscious. And you see some sort of movement in the back, like in the kitchen area. It's like a flashing movement, and then you hear some sound. Maybe some muttering.
Let's go.
Okay, yeah. You just go right over there.
Yep.
Okay. Sapphire, are you behind Ford, like following?
Like trying to figure out. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out if I'd stay back and like try to like question the employee that like, Needle is like fixing up, or if I'd like go downstairs with like Ford Fiesta. I don't know. How bad does he look? Like, is he like unconscious, or is?
No, you could talk to him. Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask him questions then.
Yeah.
Probably. So
okay.
You can go back to Ford Fiesta.
Yeah, we'll kind of like go back and forth between that probably, right? So Needle follows Ford Fiesta down the stairs with his stun gun. Ford Fiesta, you go to the kitchen then?
Yeah, I go straight to the kitchen to investigate the movement.
Okay. Yeah, so you open the door to the kitchen, or like just peer in, I guess, because the door's probably open at this point.
But I do the cool like shotgun goes first.
Yeah. And you see Bean like just basically taking out all of the like dishware one by one and just like throwing it on the floor. He takes out a pan, just chucks it on the floor. Takes out a pot, just chucks it on the floor. And he's mumbling something like, I told them this would happen. They never listened.
I just kind of like do like the head cock, like confused look, and just straight up say like, who wasn't listening? What were you telling people about?
He stops and then like slowly turns to you, and he just points a finger, and he says he has like probably a rifle in his other hand, or it's probably like on because he was like moving stuff around. He's probably on the like counter next to him, but he just like points at you and he says, Ford Fiesta, I told you the next time I saw you there would be hell to pay, and this time there is.
So I guess I shoot him, like.
Yeah, you just shoot him.
I mean, like, he has a rifle. Yeah. He just said that there's going to be hell to pay.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm going to shoot him.
So is it literally just like you're just planning on killing him, or you want to threaten him and
maybe
something?
I like shoot his leg to try and just make sure he doesn't get to the gun.
Right. But yeah, you're basically just trying to seize by force.
Yeah.
All right. Roll plus.
Going
hard. How to make him pay for all the damages.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Whoa, nice. 11.
Don't mess with me.
So, yeah, seize by force. On a 10 plus, you choose 3 of these options.
Oh, yeah.
So you exchange harm. So he grabs the gun, you grab your gun, you guys exchange harm. It's like a 3 harm rifle that you can mitigate that with sufferable harm if you wanted to. And you have armor as well, obviously.
Then I would like to do the the bottom 3. Like, not to inflict terrible harm, but...
Okay, so you suffer little harm, you take definite and undeniable control of the situation, and you impress, dismay, and frighten your enemy.
Yes.
Perfect. All right, so you have 1 armor, right?
I'm not exactly sure.
Oh, I don't think you have any
I don't think
armor,
I have armor.
Your car has armor.
Yeah, that's I was like, I don't think I have armor.
Yeah, everybody else has armor. So you take 2 harm then. So go ahead and put your little clock to 6 o'clock. Yep. And then roll your harm move. So click on that and put in 2. Or 1, actually. No, sorry. Because if you suffer a little harm, it's 2 then. Right, because you did 3. Sorry. Okay. Yep, so put in 2. That is good. So nothing else bad happens.
Oh, okay.
You just take the 2 harm. So you're wounded, but you're tough. You're hardcore. You're fine.
I was built for tough.
And that is our session. We are done.
Okay. Like literally, that was just laid out in front of me.
It really was. But yeah, I mean, you definitely take definite and undeniable control of it. So you want to shoot him in the leg, basically?
Yeah.
Okay. So you definitely like mingle his leg. Like he's probably gonna bleed out and die if he doesn't get medical treatment. But like he's down. He drops the rifle. It skitters across the floor. But yeah, he's staring up at you like.
I just like take like 2 steps closer and like aim at his head and kind of go, "What's going on?"
What do you mean, what's going on? I tried to kill you and you won. That's all there is to it.
Okay, clearly not. Or else you would have just tried to kill me many of the other times we've ever seen each other.
Yeah, and he says, well, this time she gave me the power. She gave me the ability. She gave me the reason why.
Bob?
A plebeian name for a goddess.
A goddess of sheep?
No. A goddess of games. You don't know anything that's going on, do you, Fort Fiesta? You don't know the power that she's given us.
No.
The imagination, the inspiration that she's given us.
Where could I find this goddess to glean of her wisdom?
She's going there right now to reclaim her rightful throne.
Where?
Where do games come from?
The game store?
Who pays the bloody rent, Fiesta?
Sapphire?
That's not exactly what I meant. Let me rephrase this.
Who collects the rent?
Yes, who collects the rent. This is him like saying it. He's like, who collects the rent?
So she's after games.
Like I said.
And you just couldn't get out of the way.
Okay, well, you've really been no help at all. And then I just like shoot him.
You just shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
So Needle, you went down, right?
Yeah, I was just gonna say he was like right behind her, like coming into the kitchen. And
well,
like,
I think you would have been if you didn't see Toyota sitting at his normal place on the table.
No.
When you walk down the stairs. And he has his GM screen and everything open. And he literally says, Needle, you just got here in time. I rolled up a character for you. Here, come sit down.
He slowly walks over, just very creeped out.
I technically have 2 rolled up characters. If you want to play a fighter or a wizard. I know usually you would go for the cleric, but
I mean, he's just kind of stunned. He's just gonna
as you hold the stun gun in your hand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's literally just like approaching the table with the gun up, like slowly, just kind of listening to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he says, well, what will it be, Needle? I don't have all day. We need to get the adventure started.
He slowly points the gun at him just to see if he'll react at all.
Come on now. I've had that point. I've had worse pointed at my chest in this very chair.
He lowers it and he sits down.
There you go. That's a good boy. Now listen, Needle. And he like kind of puts his hands down like on the edge of the table. And he looks at you very intently. I'm only here for a very, very short amount of time. It'll only be about 30 seconds from this point until she comes and claims me again. I need to warn you. Something is happening. Something that I can't control. Something that none of us could control. I saw it in her. I saw it in her eyes. And then she killed me. And then she trapped me like this in some never-ending ghost limbo, whatever this is. But the thing I really need to tell you is... And then he just disappears.
Curses.
It kind of makes him jump a little bit, and he, like, goes for the trigger of his gun. He doesn't pull it, but he, like, almost does. Like, almost, like, stuns his own lap or whatever.
Yeah, and you jumping, like, knocks the table, and you see there's, like, one singular D20 on the table, and it, like, you roll it, right, by jittering the table, and it rolls on a 1.
Oh, great.
Oh, no.
That's a great omen.
Yeah.
Fun.
So Sapphire, you're talking to your employee at the top of the coffee house area?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just like, what happened? What did you see?
Bean, he kicked in the door like some sort of Arnold Schwarzenegger or something, and it literally didn't make any sense, and then he just started shooting us, and it seemed like his gun never ran out of bullets, and I don't know what happened.
It's okay, Quinn. His name is Quinn, apparently.
Okay.
I just say is... I don't know what I say.
Yeah.
I mean, man, I'm just like...
Like, can you tell me anything more?
Right, I'm just like,
Yeah.
Is there anything else you saw?
I thought let me think about this. What's a detail I could give you? I thought I heard him say something like games, something about games, playing games is what got us in this mess in the first place, or something like that. He was muttering the entire time. He would pause for about maybe 30 seconds in between some of these shots when we were really getting outnumbered. And he just spoke to me for a while before I went unconscious. He looked me in the eyes and he said, I'm remembering now, I don't remember why. He said the queen has come to take her rightful place. He said, Daddy plays too many games. And then he knocked me out with it about his rifle. He like holds his head like, ah.
Okay, Quinn. Well, go home. No use being here anymore.
Yeah.
We've got Needle. Needle will try to do what he can.
Yeah.
I need you to do what you can.
Yeah. Ford Fiesta, you also, I think you hear like some other like sounds, and you open up a closet or something, and there's like a bunch of employees that have like barricaded themselves in there, and you like communicate with them, and you know they come out and stuff. So there are some of them that survived, but yeah, Needle, if you want to, you can like try to save as many else as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and roll plus stock again. Whatever stock you want to spend.
Well, how many are like injured that need healing?
You'll roll once for like the whole
Oh, okay, cool.
whole thing. Yeah.
Just spend one then. Ah, 90.
All right, so you get to choose, I guess, one of those options. Yeah, 7 and 9. So you just do the recover stock again if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't need anything else from them.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So you do that. He's spending some time doing that. Do Ford or Sapphire do anything else? Go anywhere else?
I mean, I just like go upstairs and
Yeah.
go like, okay, Bean's dealt with.
Okay.
We gotta go back and
And some of your employees come up with him or with her, Sapphire.
Sapphire, you see Sapphire for the first time, like show like relief on her face, because normally she's like very mysterious and whatnot, and then she just like goes and like they just like she just like hugs her employees. She's just like, I'm so glad that most of you are alive.
Yeah.
My posse, my gang.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I kind of just go, okay, great about the happiness and stuff. I think your building manager is about to die. So
what did Bean say?
Something like Ba is like some goddess or something, and she's going after games. Like we just
Quinn was saying that Beans might have been possessed, is the sound of it, by a girl. I don't know if it's Ba at this point.
Well, like she's a goddess, but is only known as Ba, and we don't even know.
Did he say Ba's name?
I said Ba, and he was like, "Ha, what a silly name for the goddess, basically."
I don't know. I'm not fully convinced it's her.
Okay, so we're not gonna go try and prevent.
No, of course we're gonna go warn games. Let me call him. Is the line still open?
You call and no one answers. It's still working, but
just like, don't tell me I'm gonna have to go back there again. All right, let's go.
Yeah, so Needle, you're probably done patching everybody up by then, and then you guys get into the Mini Cooper and.
So I just like tell my employees, I'm just like barricade up like this place, like do what you can do to just like make it stronger so that way people can't get in.
Cool. Yeah. So you guys get to the estate again, and there are guards, at the gate like normal. And the same one that talked to you earlier, Ford Fiesta, like walks up and says, "You're back again? What's wrong?"
Have you seen Ba here? I don't know if he knows.
Yeah, I mean, we brought her in for questioning just about an hour ago. Found her. She was just right in the middle of the street.
Where did you take her?
He's talking with games right now, I think.
And I zoom in.
Do you just like break down the gate?
Yeah.
Ram something with a car.
I think I'm gonna have you roll for that.
It's getting towards the end of the session. So she's like, it's now or never.
Yeah.
Now or never. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, I'm using my combat driver move.
So, yeah, I guess it's just seize by force. You're just trying to like ram the gate.
Except it's a cool.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Boom.
Oh, so that putting that at cool there, that's just the default. There's no real
Oh.
there's no
Awkward.
stat associated with that, so that would be we can just take that roll and then whatever you would have for hard though.
Wow.
So it's
a
still a 9.
Thanks, Caleb.
Sorry.
Wow.
So you get to choose 2 of these options.
Okay. I mean, I definitely want to impress I mean, it's not my enemy, but I definitely like want to impress everybody. And then I want my car to suffer little harm and my car to inflict terrible damage.
All right. Yep. That's what happens.
Or no, I choose 2. So I want to impress them and I want my car to suffer little harm. There we go.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, you're already going to do more damage. So.
Yeah.
It's a gate,
Perfect.
so.
Yep. So, let's see. Vehicle. Oh wow, there's some fun vehicle moves. Let's see. Yeah, I guess it's literally just seized by force, and you're just battering down the gate. So what's really funny is you're like basically right next to the gate, but apparently like you just have enough strength behind this car that if you just
there's a lot of horsies in there.
you go from 0 to 60 and just ram through the thing. And yeah, the guards are like, what in the and yeah, you just zip through. Yeah. Do you literally just like drive up the stairs into the entrance of the like how far do you take this ramming situation?
I pull like some sort of really cool move to park on the porch.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to drive it into the house. That's rude.
Right.
You'd have to take the tires off first, you know?
Yeah.
Like leave your shoes and tires at the door.
But yeah, Needle and Sapphire, this is about the weirdest, bumpiest ride you've ever been on because she literally like drives up the stairs of the porch and then drifts and then like parks, like parallel parks right in front of the door. Somehow.
This is why you're my favorite.
Right. And yeah, the guards are yelling at you like, "What are you doing?" And then you guys just like get out and run into the house.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you run from room to room, trying to like find where they are, and eventually you get to one, and you hear basically like whimpering, and then you hear Ba's voice say, "It's all right, Daddy. You can sleep now." Do you just burst in?
If no one else does, Needle does.
I'm just like confused. Like I have my shotgun ready, but I'm not making a move because I'm very confused.
Yeah, so I think Needle steps forward and like bursts through the door with his stun gun.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, Sapphire and Ford are like really confused by that, but Needle, yeah, just kicks in the door, walks in, and you see Ba in like a white dress. She's glowing, and is standing, and basically, Games is at his like desk. It's like really, really fancy like desk. He has a GM screen in front of him, and he is like holding his face in his hands, like crying, as she like stands. Not even really stands. She's actually like hovering like 2 inches off the ground and like is like floating in front of him saying this stuff. Needle, what do you do in like the immediate like you see this? You try to stun gun her?
I mean, his eyes widen, and I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So roll to seize by force. Roll plus hard.
So I just roll hard the stat, or?
Yep.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Oh,
Nice.
11.
All right, choose 3 of these options. So.
Are they coming?
It's the ones that are already there.
Oh,
Ones
okay.
that are right above it.
I see. Three of them?
Mhm.
Okay. All but you suffer little harm.
Okay. So let's see. How much does your stun gun do? It does S harm, which is stun harm. Oh, it just does 1 S harm, basically. All right, sounds good. And then she is a goddess, and she is going to basically try to vaporize you with like divine energy. And so you literally just tried to stun gun a goddess. So she's gonna do 4 harm, but minus whatever. Is that the only one you didn't do? Is suffer little harm?
Yeah.
Okay, so you will take the full harm except for your armor, so it's a 3. So mark the 9 o'clock.
Oh gosh.
So that's the point where it starts to get bad is the 9 o'clock, and then go ahead and do the harm move, which is the suffer harm little dice icon right there, and then put in 3 for the harm that you list there. We'll see what you get. That is bad. Yes. That is very bad for you.
Oh
so
no.
Harm.
Well, somebody's character had to die tonight.
On a 10 plus, the MC can choose 1. You're out of action, unconscious, trapped, incoherent, or panicked. It's worse than it seemed. Take an additional -1 harm. I'm gonna do it. It's worse than it seemed. Take an additional -1 harm. So you're at 10 o'clock, but you're still conscious. You're in absolutely excruciating pain. It feels like the worst sunburn you've ever had everywhere, even inside of you. And it's just like radiating over you, and you just like fall to your knees, and you're just like, ah, but you do stun her a little bit. And she pauses, right? She does this to you and then gets hit by the stun gun and then like has a moment of hesitation. So Ford, Fiesta, Sapphire, if you want to do something, now would be the moment to do it.
I mean, I already said I had my shotgun ready, and now it seemed like...
So I don't take definite and undeniable control of it? Even though that...
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, because it's the you gave her the moment of...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Definite and undeniable control is one moment of hesitation.
Right, but you can't have definite and undeniable control because you're, like... I guess you're not unconscious, but, like... this is part of the definite and undeniable control. Is basically what I'm saying is, she's stunned.
This feels more like it's part of like the frightened thing though.
Oh, you impressed us, may or frighten your enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, sorry. I really didn't honestly think about those ones. So yeah, obviously she's stunned. And I mean, she's not really frightened. She's impressed, but like.
I mean, like what I'm asking for, I guess, for Carly's sake is if Carly can't have undeniable control right now, can she then instead -1 harm? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if that's just like not an option, then like
I don't think so. Especially when you're shooting a stun gun at a goddess.
Okay.
But like. If you like, because this is the thing, right? Like, I could have it be where she's stunned, but like, how long is that gonna last? Like,
right,
for a while, I guess. Okay, if you wanted to, okay. So taking definite and undeniable control of the situation, but you can ask her questions and stuff, right? Like she's stunned and she's down, and then she just starts talking to you, basically. I guess.
Yeah, I guess for not very long though. Maybe have 30 seconds.
I mean, if you don't say anything to stop me soon, I'm just going to be shooting her.
I mean, you can shoot her, go for it.
Something you can do too, right? Like you could either, because doing 1 S harm to a goddess is not that significant at all. And so the definite and undeniable control, the only definite and undeniable control you could get over the situation is she is momentarily stunned.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, if nobody's like saying anything... And I just see Needle get like pushed to the ground with
Right.
weird goddess energy, then I'm just gonna shoot her.
Yeah. Right, and that's the thing, right? Because Needle has taken control of the situation through the stun gun, now you have a perfect shot. You can literally just deal harm to her and she can't do anything
Yeah,
about it.
I'm gonna
So, yeah.
do that.
Sue, you deal 3 harm because of your shotgun. And I guess that means, yeah. So basically what happens is you blow off half her face. And she's now like staring up at you in obvious pain. And it looks like she's trying to like regenerate herself. But she looks at you and with half a mouth says to you, Ford Fiesta, like, I always liked you. Don't shoot me, please. So it comes out more like, I always liked you. Don't shoot me, please.
And I
She's got like half a mouth.
I just kind of say, of course, everyone likes me. I bring the party.
I bring the fiesta.
You can just shoot her again if you want. Like,
Oh yeah, I mean, like, once again, if nobody's stopping me, you see me,
you just
get ready
you
to
just kill
shoot her again.
I just like
Sapphire, do you say anything?
I just don't know what to do. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, she's just kind of like, this is like D&D in real life right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like struggling to figure out what she would do. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that she would try to like, I would try to do like my everybody eats, even that guy, but I already did that on Ba. But I mean, this is a different Ba, kind of, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
So,
well, okay. I don't think you could roll it again simply because, yeah, not only did you already do it again, but
right.
or did you already do it, but like that move is based on like you having the establishment and knowing people through that. You've
Right.
never met Goddess Ba through the establishment, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
And I can't use my other one because I have to be in my establishment to be able to do that. So it's
What's
kind
the
of
other one you have?
like whatever I
Figure it
want.
out.
Like I can like get whatever I want.
Oh yeah, it shows up in your establishment for you like magic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I'll let you roll that if you want to have told your people to get you something.
Get me
and bring
something
it here. Yeah. I don't know what it would be, but
maybe something of something of Toyota's that people would know.
Okay. His like game manuals or something.
Right.
Like
maybe his DM screen if it's there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead and roll that.
Okay.
Roll hot.
Ooh.
Oh nope.
Oh.
Like
Wow.
That's
gross.
Ew. Wow, that was really gross. So I just don't have it then.
yeah. I don't think so. And I think. Let's see. Yeah. If Sapphire hasn't received anything from them, so like, what would she do in this situation?
I mean,
And basically, the two options mainly here are like let Ford just keep shooting her in the face,
Right.
or talk to her.
right, try to like manipulate her somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, really the thing I want to know is like, you know, like if I can just be like, hold on, like let's figure out if we can like, we're not going to win this. I mean, or I don't say that, but like,
Right.
let's see if we can try to figure this out, like
Yeah.
what she really wants. So I'm just like, what do you want? You know, something like that, but just not as,
Yeah.
you know, something cooler. My character's so much cooler than I am. I could never be as cool as Sapphire.
Yeah. So yeah, some sort of suave way of saying, yeah, what do you want? Like, tell us what you want. and I guess part of her mouth regrows, and she says, "What I've always wanted, to retake my place." And then she seems to think about something, and he says, "Except, no, I haven't always wanted that. I just came into myself very recently." And then she looks up at you, Sapphire, and says, "Did you know that killing someone really clears the mind?"
Well, I killed Farley, and that didn't clear anything for me. I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't say that.
Yeah.
And she just goes like, I don't. I feel like I want to attempt something weird, but I have a -1 with that.
I was just gonna say, can I use my healing touch move on myself? Because I just have to be touching skin to skin.
Yeah, sure.
Because I want to try it at some point, and this.
Oh yeah, like, obviously.
If anything's gonna help me, it's probably that.
Yeah.
Right
On a wounded person, you are a wounded person. Go ahead, roll plus weird. Yeah, while this is happening, you're just like magic healing. Hey, did we think that was gonna go any other way? No.
Oh my goodness.
All right, you don't heal. Second, you've opened your brain to the psychic maelstrom without protection or preparation. So Needle. I mean, very obviously, Toyota appears to you again. Like you have your hand, you press to your chest, like trying to like heal yourself, and then you see sitting at like a chair nearby his desk, nearby Games' desk. Toyota is sitting and just looking at you, and he says, "Oh, I'm really sorry, brother. You're about this close to joining me, and that's really not good, because the more she kills, I think the clearer everything gets for her." Welcome to the land of the ghosts, I guess. Or at least you're visiting for now. Maybe you'll stay as a permanent resident. We'll have to see. And like everything around you seems like is like frozen in like still frame. Like Ford is halfway through like reloading her, or you know, like the brass is like flying out of her shotgun like in midair, sort of a thing, you know. What do you say?
I mean, I think he just says, like, not yet.
I don't know if you have the choice. She's everything around here.
Yeah, he just stares at him again, and he just says, maybe in 60 seconds, but not yet.
What do you need to do in 60 seconds?
Anything.
And what would you give up to have that 60 seconds? Looks at you very seriously.
He smiles. Anything.
I've always liked you, Needle. Did you know that?
No.
Well, I did. He stands up and he goes to like the window behind Games, opens it up, kind of like leans over the ledge a little bit with his arm. He looks down and he says, "You're like on the 3rd story or whatever." It's like a very big ranch house, and he turns back to you and he says, 60 seconds is all I can give you, and then he jumps out the window. and you come back to yourself. You're instantly healed, but only for the next 60 seconds. What do you do with that 60 seconds?
Oh, okay. I wasn't even counting on that. I was just counting on being alive for the next 60 seconds.
What I was going to ask real quick is, so Games is over there with a DM screen, you said.
Mm-hmm. He's like crying, like behind it.
I'm assuming he has dice back there.
Mm-hmm.
That's for my brain.
We gotta roll the dice.
Yeah.
Okay. Neil, I mean, you're the closest to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think he kind of puts that together, and in his head he's just like, I just gotta knock it a 1. And he like runs over and picks it up and chucks it across the table.
Okay. And obviously there's like the really tense moment of just like watching it like slowly going.
Should I just legit roll the d20?
Sure. You know what? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's leave this up to roll 20.
I'm just curious what you'd get.
Oh boy. I'm gonna laugh if you get a critical failure. Like, that's just like a... But a critical failure could actually be good, because then that means that she would die, maybe. But I don't know. It just depends on who you're rolling for, I guess.
I love how much emphasis you're putting on this dice. Okay, I got a 12. So, you roll a 12, nothing happens. Except Games looks at you, Needle. And he says, "What did you do that for?" He like stopped crying, just to like tears on his face and stuff, but he seems serious.
I had to do something. Figured that might do something.
That got me into this mess. No, it doesn't do anything.
I mean, at this point,
it never does anything.
Can I just shoot her again? Like, is anybody opposed to that plan? Of me just continuing to shoot her? No.
Yeah, I think basically what's happening is you just continue to shoot her, and she keeps like regenerating at least quickly enough to not completely die. At least for now, right? Like that's the current like situation that's happening is like you're just like blasting off chunks of her, and she's just like slowly regenerating. But yeah, like, and everyone's probably completely deaf at this point because they're firing a shotgun in a closed room. But you know,
thought off shotgun.
Yeah, that helps. I don't actually know if it does or not. Probably doesn't.
I'm gonna Google this.
I think
yeah, please do.
Needle grabs the die and just chucks it at Ba. Because he's just like mad. He's
yeah,
like,
it just bounces
I don't know what
off.
else to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And Games just like frustratedly like slams a hand down, like crushing his GM screen, and he just says, "It doesn't mean anything. It never did." And he looks at Ba and he says, "I'm sorry, all right. I'm sorry that I decided to play dice with the universe. I never should have made you."
Oh.
Do you keep blasting away at her for it, or do you like let her talk?
I mean, I guess I'll let her respond a little bit.
Sure. So she says, "You could never resist an attractive woman, Daddy." And he just shakes his head and just starts like sort of choke sobbing again. And he says, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Why do you have to take it out on me like this?" And she says, "You ended the world, Daddy. That means you have to pay. That means you're responsible. You decided to make everything your game."
Hold up.
Yeah.
I just kind of like turn and like start aiming at
Games, right? Like,
and like, be like, do I just shoot him once at least?
He just looks at you and he says, "Do it. End it."
I shoot his arm.
What was that for?
What's going on?
The apocalypse is his
I'm
fault.
gonna try to healing touch him.
Oh no, okay. Sure.
No,
yeah.
don't do
Ralph was
that.
He's like
No.
instinct.
And let's say that's basically
Oh.
the end of your 60 seconds. It's
Yeah.
like the last thing you can
Oh
do.
no.
Of course.
No.
But this is the thing. You know what you did? You opened up both of your brains to the psychic maelstrom.
Yeah.
Needle, you see everything.
Oh, boy.
You see a man in his house, his lake house, in a in a house in Geneva, Wisconsin, and he is playing advanced Dungeons and Dragons with some friends, games, and something weird happens. He rolls a D20. It goes under the couch. He goes and tries to find it. It's glowing when he picks it up. And you see him basically commune with a goddess and get seduced by said goddess. And it was literally like the goddess of like games or chance or something, related to this. And they had sex. They had a kid.
Oh boy.
And Games got the ability to do whatever he wanted with the universe as a result. The goddess really, really wanted a kid. And he got out of it the ability to play dice with the universe, to make everything into a game, to be in charge of everything. But the problem is that kid still existed in this world. She didn't know who she was until she killed someone. And a crack opened up in her soul. And she knew everything. And the power of her mother flowed into her. And the goddess, who had been kind of absent and hadn't really been paying attention to what was going on in this realm, realized through her daughter that Games had made a mockery of everything and had destroyed the world, had literally caused the apocalypse because of his playing dice of the universe. And so Ba was sent spiritually, with divine guidance to basically enact revenge and take over some people, such as Bean and Farley, so on and so forth. And now he's here, and now she's here, and Games has a reckoning. It won't save the world. It won't make it go back to the way it was. But if he dies, at the very least, the world will have vengeance upon its destroyer. Oh, and you know the guy's real name. His name was Gary Gygax.
You have officially made a universe in a role-playing game where role-playing games are actually witchcraft.
Yep.
Oops.
Oh boy.
So you understand that in one moment, and then you die.
You know what? Fine.
Without being able to say anything to anyone.
I mean, kind of. If you wanted to, as one very last-ditch effort, you could try doing something else to, like... Okay, I'm going to give you a hard choice. You can tell either Sapphire or Ford Fiesta. You can give them a vision of what you just saw. But there will be unintended side effects you can't control.
I mean, no, he doesn't, because he's a medic, and, like, no.
First rule, do no harm. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
You died as you lived,
Sapphires
as a good
are
doctor.
always just like, after hearing this, she's just like, all right, let's kill him. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if Ford Fiesta doesn't just like shoot him in the face right away, I'm gonna stab him. But
I just kind of go, if you would like the honor.
I don't know. Sapphire's like.
And I shoot him. She hesitated, so I'm gonna shoot him.
I mean,
Yeah,
like Sapphire
that's...
really doesn't like this guy, but she's also not just like a cold-blooded like.
Exactly.
I just like straight up murder somebody.
And there's a moment right where you just like you have your dagger in your hand, and you say that for Fiesta, and then she looks at the dagger and then hesitates for just a moment. And then do you say anything, or you just literally just shoot him?
I'm just still looking at her, and I kind of do the like.
Yep.
Like, well.
And I think that's just cuts the scene right there, right? Is with that gunshot. And then we see text come over the bottom of the screen that says 6 months later. And we see Sapphire, last finishing touches on the newly remodeled, Sapphire Sega. And we see Ford Fiesta come in from somewhere, drive up, do the awesome parallel parking job, walk in. They see each other. And Sapphire, you can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I think what we see when we go down into the basement is we see Ba being the GM of a new gaming group, and she's fine. She's herself. She's healed now, and she's a great GM.
She just was having a hard time.
She got possessed by her goddess mom.
I bet you what the thing is. I think she doesn't even remember anything. Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I'm just like, and nobody else knows that like Ba was possessed. So I'm just like, yeah. Yep. And now it becomes like a new joke, right? Where now every single time Ba kills, she kills.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Perfect. Awesome. I think maybe the very last thing we see is Ford Fiesta, and then maybe Sapphire if you would do this. Maybe you drive out into the desert a little ways, and there's a little memorial where you buried Needle.
And we're both looking out.
Yeah, you both dramatically look out over the distance.
If we're looking out in the distance, I at least would like to be in Pathfinder looking out in the distance.
Yeah.
With the engine running and just kind of like looking out in the distance and then just, a little hop.
And that's the last thing we see. Perfect. Well, that was fun and weird.
I got to kill people.
You did. You got to kill many people. You got to kill one person over and over and over again. There you go. That is our session of Gamebound Apocalypse World today. That was very strange.
Very strange.
Yep.
Yeah, this game tends to end up that way.
Every single time we've done it, it's ended up with really dramatic, crazy strangeness. So I expect it.
I mean, there's a whole attribute called weird. So
exactly.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Exactly.
2 out of 3 times we've done it, my character has died.
Yep.
Mainly just because I'm super reckless with them because it's a one-shot and I have moves that I want to use.
That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. I was really happy with the Needle Toyota little subplot that happened throughout the whole thing. Yeah. That was fun. It was a fun little thing for Needle to be up to. But I also love the fact that he figured out everything that was going on and then didn't want to hurt anyone with the knowledge, and so he kept it to himself. What a good boy. But yeah, the whole magnetism thing was definitely just a red herring.
Oh.
I didn't know it was red herring when I made it, but it was. and
wow.
In canon, basically, it would have been Ba trying to misdirect whoever was trying to follow her and thinking it was something else going on, and when it wasn't. So, yeah.
Got it.
Yep. Just to tie up that last loose end, because that didn't go anywhere.
I didn't even think about that. I was like, oh yeah, that was a thing at one point.
Yep. But yeah, I figured out most of what was going on as soon as I had Farley try to kill you. That was the moment where I realized that Games was Gary Gygax and he had a daughter with a goddess.
What a sentence.
Weirder things have happened. in
Yeah,
role playing games, at
probably.
least. Well, there you go. That's it. We're out. Adios.